Hi students, welcome back to my channel Evolve Solving Physics. Today we are going to discuss about acceleration. What is meant by acceleration? Acceleration means the rate of change of velocity. The rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. The rate of change of velocity is called acceleration, or we can explain in the form of another definition, that is the ratio of change in velocity to the change in time. The ratio of change in velocity to the change in time. Then we call it as acceleration. So the rate of change of velocity is called acceleration, or the ratio of change in velocity to the change in time. So in mathematical, how we can write this acceleration means A is equal to, so rate of change of means delta by delta t. Here rate of change of means delta by delta t. Here I said that delta means delta, what delta represents? Change in. Delta represents change in. What is meant by rate of change of means delta by delta t. Delta by delta t. What I said, the rate of change of means delta by delta t. Rate of change of, what I said, velocity. So delta v by delta t. This is called acceleration. A is equal to delta v by delta t. Delta by delta t means rate of change of. Rate of change of means rate of change of represents delta by delta t. What I said, rate of change of velocity. So delta by delta t into v means delta v by delta t. Or another definition, I said that the ratio of change in velocity to the change in time. Change in velocity means delta v and delta t is the change in time. This is called acceleration. We can denote this change in. I said that change in is denoted by delta or d. You can denote change in as delta or d. So you can also be written as dv by dt. So A equals to delta v by delta t or dv by dt. D represents change in and delta also represents change in. You can denote change in as delta or d. Okay, so A equals to delta v by delta t. Delta v represents change in velocity. Change in velocity means final velocity minus initial velocity by final time minus initial time. So delta v means change in velocity. Change in velocity means final velocity minus initial velocity, and delta t is change in time, that is final time minus initial time. This is the acceleration. Next, deceleration. So next topic is deceleration or retardation. We call the deceleration as retardation. So acceleration means mainly the acceleration depends on velocity. Change in velocity by change in time. Based on velocity change, the acceleration will also changes. If there is a change in velocity, here mainly the acceleration depends on velocity. If velocity changes, then there is a change in acceleration also. First, suppose if velocity is decreasing with time, then the acceleration is negative. Then the acceleration becomes negative. That negative acceleration is called deceleration. The velocity if the velocity is decreasing, I said that acceleration mainly depends on velocity. As velocity is decreasing with time, then the acceleration becomes, then the acceleration will becomes negative. For a decreasing velocity, the acceleration will becomes negative. This negative acceleration is called deceleration or retardation. The negative acceleration is called deceleration or retardation. So, for decreasing velocity with time, the acceleration is negative. This negative acceleration is called deceleration. For suppose if velocity is increasing with time, then the acceleration will be positive. So now we are going to discuss about instantaneous acceleration. I said that instantaneous means particular time. We have already discussed about instantaneous speed and instantaneous velocity. I said that instantaneous speed means if we calculate a speed at any particular time, at any particular instant of time, if we calculate or if we find a speed, then we call it as instantaneous speed. Instantaneous velocity means for any particular time, if we find a velocity, then we call it as instantaneous velocity. Instantaneous means for any particular time, for any particular instant of time. If you are traveling in a car, if you want to find for any particular time, if you want to find an acceleration, if you find that acceleration for any particular instant of time, then we call it as instantaneous acceleration. If you find acceleration means it is instantaneous acceleration. For any particular time, if you want to find velocity, then we call it as instantaneous velocity. So instantaneous acceleration means the acceleration of a particle at a particular instant of time, at any or at a, for any time you want to find an acceleration, then we call it as instantaneous acceleration. Now we are going to discuss about uniform acceleration. Uniform acceleration means, I said that uniform motion means or uniform velocity means equal distance traveled by the object in equal interval of time. Here acceleration means change in ratio of change in velocity to the change in time, or the rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. Uniform acceleration means same acceleration or constant acceleration. So the equal change in velocity in equal change in interval of time, then we call it as uniform acceleration. So equal change in velocity in equal change in interval of time, then we call it as uniform acceleration. Non-uniform acceleration means unequal change in velocity to the equal change in interval of time, or the equal change in velocity in unequal change in interval of time, then we call it as non-uniform acceleration. So this is about acceleration. If you have any doubts, please comment me in comment box. So please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.